Hey everybody, welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It is time to get into the latest episode of Traders. Again, we have Abby and Really B. Hi, ladies. Y'all ready to jump into
Hi.
this? I got me a good old drink. I'm ready to get this started because this was another great episode.
And was.
Off, just this ain't got nothing to do with the episode, but just off topic, but about traders. This show is so good. This season is so good. Do you think the magic can be recreated, or is it just they just got the right group of celebs together for this season, or do you think they could recreate this season after season after season?
I think whatever conversation that was had when they were putting this group of people together, I think that's the conversation they need to have again. Um, I mean, I know that there may have been people that they invited that turned them down and all of that, but clearly they were looking for specific personalities or specific traits in personalities, and if they look for those things again, then I think they're going to be on point. But trying to just simply just recreate, no, because some stuff is just lightning in a bottle. Like some stuff I don't know if you can recreate, Like like you knew Phaedra was going to be good. Like think of how it would have been different if they hadn't chosen Phaedra to be a traitor. Like I think all of those things are factors.
Phaedra's doing better than
I
what I
need a
thought.
season. I feel like I need a season with Nene on it
I definitely would love to
Nene,
see Nene.
because I feel
Nene would
like
do it.
she gonna give us what we need out the shenanigans. And then I want them to have her as a faithful, but it looks like she's a traitor, so she's on the defense the whole season and cussing folks. Chad, I just
I can't wait to get into I see your comment. I don't want to mess your name up. I can't wait until get into that notebook, but we gonna get there.
listen
We
because her reasons was bullshittery. Ma'am, what do you mean?
she could have had some valid reasons, but they weren't written in that notebook. I guarantee you that. But what happened at the beginning of the episode? The traders had to murder somebody. Poverty is still in the game. It's between Bergie, Trishelle, who gets murdered. I found it quite hilarious. I ain't really find it hilarious, but I found it funny. Everybody said it out loud that, oh, we know Poverty about to show up. If don't nobody else show up, Poverty will be.
Right, like
Listen,
everybody.
everybody knows, daughter. The jig is up. The jig is up.
Everybody knows.
Everybody said it, but Bergie was murdered. You're gonna find out today, later on, Phaedra, that was a mistake. I feel like they let Poverty make that
Hold
decision.
on. Wait a minute. Get chicken gloves off my TV. What? What did you Hello.
I cannot stand y'all.
Abby, you got me doing that because
Don't blame.
and I'll be like, mine's just say fast forward, queen. I'm like, okay, everybody know I fast forward. Let me be shady too. So yes, get the chicken gloves off of my TV.
I am deceased. Do you hear me?
Oh,
Listen,
God.
because I will show up put a shady thing up there.
Well, let me put up. Hold on. Let me. All right, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna put something shady up.
Because we
That's
don't
what
got
I'm gonna
this.
use it for going forward. But what we was talking? Oh, Bergie got murdered. Do you agree with the murder? Was Bergie the right decision?
No, they should have killed Trishelle.
Agreed.
They should have murdered
I
Trishelle.
feel like production told them to save Trishelle.
I don't like her. I don't like her crow's feet. I don't like her the way her nose is shaped. I don't like none of it. Please get off my TV.
Trishelle is chicken gloves because she had on them whack ass chicken gloves 2 episodes ago, and she thought they were so fly. Something she just had to show off and get Peppermint kicked off our TV screens. She had to show off them whack ass gloves. That's Trishelle.
Rock parachute pants, please.
Don't do
I'm just saying.
There's something wrong with us. Oh,
Just saying.
It's the fact that P Funk Parliament is still on this show. It is sending me. I cannot. Can't.
Listen.
She gave us something to read. We got somebody to read tonight, so get ready to catch it, Trishelle. Berkey gone. I noticed Phaedra does have a tail. At that breakfast table, whenever whoever got murdered doesn't show up, she always looking for the food. Like, oh, this is good. Oh,
Well, I will say this.
I feel like they edit that to make it look away.
You think
Right.
so? Because
I do. But I will say this. I do feel like they edited to make it look obvious, but I do feel like she forgets to stay. I do feel like she forgets to stay in character at breakfast. Because let's be clear, they're probably sitting there for a really long time for them to do the whole dramatic or everybody come in. I honestly feel like they do it. Like she starts off, oh my gosh, what do you think? Yeah, it's like, and then by the end, by the time we finally
pass me the sausage, child. I've been sitting here for 2.5 hours.
Down there.
Listen, they here or they not. Pass the eggs.
I thought she should have gave a little bit more emotion for Burgerlicious. Like,
no, right? That was her Burgerlicious.
No, because then they're gonna be like, "Oh no, you the traitor because you said, oh my Burgerlicious." Ain't that what she was accused of the last time? Because she do too much. So she said, "I do too much because you do too little," and then she did too little and it wasn't enough. So y'all, what y'all make up your minds? What you want her to do?
But remember too, she probably changed up. Wasn't Bergie one of the people that switched up on her last week? Or with Dan, Bergie switched up on her.
Yeah,
I thought he switched up. I didn't think Bergie ever said Phaedra. I thought he was always on Dan and Parvati.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe not then. Maybe not.
But he part of the Peter Pete's over there in the corner.
Yes.
So she knows she got to keep her good squid.
Yeah, he's definitely part of the clique. Yeah. DM, I said the same thing when he showed up on Big Brother last season. I don't know.
He a doctor. He don't know other good doctors that could have did better stuff on his face.
Because he looked bad. And when he was on Big Brother, he must have just had it done because his face looks puffy.
It was way more swollen on Big Brother.
Yeah, it looked bad. To me, it looked bad.
I found it quite hilarious that they was like, "Oh, we gonna get Dr. Will," but all the Big Brother people were gone and nobody knew who he was.
Oh, Rachel said that breakfast is fake, that they eat at the hotel before coming to the castle.
It probably because it takes hours to film that. And who's sitting there with that food in front of them just to chill?
Okay. Now I might be going out of order. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think before they went to the cabin, this is when Trishelle had her master plan with Peter. We got to get Phaedra first. Parvati is a wounded bird. We got to take a shot at Phaedra. She has too many friends. I personally felt like, as much as I don't like that chicken glove lady, her strategy was on point to shoot at Phaedra first.
It was.
Her strategy was on point 3 weeks ago when she said, "Why isn't anybody paying attention to Phaedra?" Like, I want to give her credit that she has been on to Phaedra. I'm gonna give her credit for that.
But I think we still don't like her.
I think because of that whole peppermint situation, we just still a little salty.
I'm over Parvati too last week, begging for votes, begging for her torch to get lit too.
Oh, that was a lie. I was going to talk about your ass. Oh, I was going to talk about you.
About me?
Welcome,
you.
Sorry, I had a phone call. I'm sorry. I had a phone call.
I bet you did. You probably was setting up a booty call.
I was. And is there a problem with that? Don't do me.
Ignorance. All of a sudden, that became none of my business. I don't understand what happened. Why is one lens super cloudy and one isn't?
We did not miss much. We talked about Bergie being murdered. Was that the correct murder? And things like that. You want to add anything before we move on from breakfast?
No.
Before you speak, I have to tell you something. Before you speak, I have to let you know that Pavarotti gets the Keanu treatment over here.
She's the what?
She gets the Keanu treatment.
So what is that?
The Keanu treatment is we never say her name. We just say P words.
The fact that I love Luciano Pavarotti, so I'm okay with that.
So the parrot is she who's not named. Go ahead.
I love Luciano Pavarotti, so I'll call her Pavarotti like you do. Okay. So, why you hate her so much? What did she do to you? Show me on the doll where she hurt you.
Her face hurts me.
Them headbands hurt. Them headbands probably hurt.
Headbands do get on my goddamn nerves.
It's that crooked smile for me. And y'all ain't even notice she got a crooked smile?
I know she needs some glasses because she always squinting.
She do squint a lot.
You know what? Cubstar said that Pyramids wasn't even wearing a headband this week. I ain't noticed that.
She wasn't wearing the headband this week. She wasn't. She did not. And that's maybe why she got voted off. Oh,
the headband was her superpower.
I went too far. That
was her protection.
That was her hair like Samson.
Right. The headband of protection. So Trishelle is throwing out her master plan. She has Peter on board. Peter is to get Pavarotti's inclusion to the alliance,
and that's where Peter made his
mistake. Too little, too late for plantain, yeah. And that's
where Peter made his mistake, because now you gave Phaedra the open door because you done flipped. And if I'm Phaedra, I'm doing the exact same thing. Like, whoa, wait a minute, how all of a sudden you were so sure Pavarotti, now all of a sudden
it's me. We're gonna get to that. Oh, because that round table was good. We're gonna save it.
Mm-hmm. Listen, the round table this week was so good.
It was real good. So that was what they were doing, running around the house, trying to gather votes for Phaedra and say, look, we can get Parvati anytime, but it's Phaedra now before. I think it's gonna be hard to get Phaedra going forward, but we'll see. Let's get to the challenge. And I'm just going to say up front, if I pull up to that cabin, it's haggis immediately. You're not dumping any of that shit on my head, ever. It's immediately haggis. I don't even want to participate. I don't even want to know what's going on in there. Y'all, good luck. $1,000.
I was with you from the beginning. From the very beginning.
Y'all can call me what you want. I ain't doing it.
I knew from the beginning. I heard that shit. Nah, we're not doing that. That's not what we're doing. Nope.
And for the first time ever, and it'll probably be the last time I ever say these words out my mouth, baby, I was feeling for Sheree. Because, baby, the way Sheree was running around, screaming, because she just kept feeling them bugs, baby, I was with her. And I was with her.
They all should have left with MJ. I don't understand what y'all thought was going to happen. When you saw that first set of bugs, it's going to be more bugs. We all getting out of here with MJ. That's 4,000 off the top that y'all lost.
Let me help you understand. I don't do bugs at all.
At the word bug, I would have been like, I'm going to go ahead and take it on back out. I don't do this. So whatever money y'all get, great. If y'all don't get no monies, then it is what it is. But here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to participate because bugs. Thank you.
Not at all.
And if I get banished because of it, then so be it. Because who's not doing that? Me.
I wasn't doing that. And listen, from the very beginning, when I saw the challenge, I said, I'm checking out. Completely checked out. Because I don't do bugs. Bugs? No, ma'am. No, God.
Especially if you watch season 1. Now, if it was season 1 and you didn't know what was coming your way, all right. But as soon as they pulled up to that cabin, it would have been, okay, haggis, y'all. I can't do it. And then shout out to Kate for looking up and noticing the trap door above the lights and saying, get somebody else to do it.
Right. She did. She did. She was like, Y'all get somebody else for that.
Kate was out I would have definitely not been in that tunnel. I don't think my ass could
But
have.
remember, Kate was in season 1, so Kate knew. Kate was in season 1. Kate knew. Kate said, I already know what this is about. Baby, y'all not gonna get me.
Nope. They were down there in them tunnels, fooling around in the dark, looking for gold.
Absolutely.
No, ma'am.
Now, I will give Trishelle a little bit of props. She was finding them gold coins, and she was making her way through that tunnel, her and CT. Everybody else was just down there for no reason. But immediately, this would have been a challenge I'm not participating in. So I really don't have too much to say about the challenge because
the challenge wasn't really good this week. I ain't really care for the challenge this week. Y'all could have kept that.
It's gonna be hard because I don't see other celebrities in future seasons participating in that either.
Oh, they'll do it. I mean, because there's certain celebrities that like look at Trishelle. Like all of them ain't prissy, like me. And El Teddy.
I'm not prissy, but I ain't doing no bugs.
I'm not doing no bugs. I'm not
prissy.
First of all, I wouldn't have been out in the woods in the last challenge. In the woods, getting caught up in traps and stuff, and getting snatched up to the heaven. I wouldn't have been in the mud either.
I would have did that part, but it's a couple things I don't do. I don't do bugs, but my biggest fear is spiders. Anything that deals with spiders, even if you have a picture of a spider, I'm not doing it. Y'all can go ahead and cast for Christmas.
I also wouldn't have got in that casket for that funeral shit.
Y'all wouldn't have gotten in that casket either. Nope.
Well, I think we can agree that Traders is probably not the game for us.
It looks like one of the least strenuous games that they got on TV, but still not for us.
I like the strategy side of it. The challenge side of it, I should say.
Yeah,
but shout out to the end when CT came out and said it's a elephant in my pants. Something was in his pants.
His worm. He said it was a snake in his pants.
It's a snake in his pants, and I didn't know what he was doing down there.
I thought he was trying to tell the girls, listen, I'm horny. I ain't had none in a while, and I want some. I thought that's what he was trying to do.
My mind kind of went there too. I was like, "Ooh, CT, what you talking about?" I thought he was sending a signal to Phaedra. I was like, what is this snake? And then he pulled the gold coin out. I thought that was a cute moment.
I thought CT was giving a bat signal.
You would.
And I was looking because I was like, what is he about to pull out of these pants? What?
I was talking to El Teddy.
Oh, okay.
Telling him he was a whore.
Oh. So moving on from there, they made 15,000, lost 4,000, so 11,000 is what was added to the pot. I'm not mad at that because it wouldn't have been me either. Now on the way back, Trishelle is telling everybody to vote for Phaedra, or she might have told them on the way there. I think that's where Trishelle messed up by trying to get all the votes instead of getting enough votes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where she was supposed to do like Peter did. Peter knew the votes count. Peter had enough people. Peter said, "This is what we voting for," and that bitch gonna be out of here. And Trishelle, she wasn't smart. She's not smart like that.
But Peter to the show should have told her, because you don't need all the votes. You just need enough people to vote.
Right.
Once you start throwing it out there to Kate, throwing it out there around Sheree and them, it's a no. I'm surprised it didn't get back to Phaedra.
But I think what Peter did was Peter said, just in case Trishelle is a traitor, I ain't gonna tell that bitch shit. And I think that's why he didn't tell her nothing.
You think Peter thinks Trishelle might be a traitor? I think Peter knows.
I don't think Peter thinks Trishelle is a traitor, but just in case he's wrong about a traitor, he didn't go that far as to tell her all of that.
I agree with this. They spent the whole day trying to flip people when they should have been working on John, because John is the key. John is the one who people listen to.
Yeah, I agree.
But John threw us for a loop, because John had a conversation with Parvati, which made us think he was down with the plan to go for Phaedra. but he flipped it at the round table. Like, no, banishment got your name on it.
Because I feel like John is one of those people. Because let's remember, he is a politician. So I feel like John is one of those people that he will listen to what you have to say. He will listen to you lay out all of the reasons why he should vote for a particular piece of legislation or a bill or sponsor something or whatever. And he'll maybe even let you think that you might have convinced him. But if he feels, I feel like once he's made up his mind about something, it's really, really hard. And I think in his mind, a bird in the hand beats two in the bush. We know that Popcorn is a traitor. So why are we flipping the switch? We can focus on Phaedra later, but we know we got one over here.
But I feel like this. John looked at Pimples and said, "Listen, she already out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if I believed her, I'm not going to, go against the grain. But I also think that John needs to be careful because a lot of people, remember early on, people had their sights on John,
right?
And that kind of wavered away. But now we ain't got as many people. John needs to look out because John's vote and John being as vocal as he is makes him a target. And people had already, if you remember the first couple weeks, people looked at John like, nah, he's probably a traitor. So they know it's probably one traitor left. They know it's at least one traitor left. And that traitor might recruit a new traitor. So John might need to be careful.
Well, but that's why, to be honest with you, that's why, honestly, John might have been a good person. I mean, I know we're not there yet. John might have been a good person to recruit because at this point, he's what we like to call, he's now a sleeper. Nobody is paying him any attention. But I'm not mad at the decision that was made, but we'll talk about it when we get there. But as far as pastrami, I just think that her latching on with Peter was a bad decision.
Right, because y'all was just going at it. So now, if anything, it's putting suspicion on Peter. But let's go ahead and get to the round table.
But I feel like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I feel like pepperoni pizza felt like people were going to target Peter because he was so adamant about her. And now he had flipped the script. And I felt like she was banking on that. And that didn't work in her favor.
But honestly, that is what's happening is what I thought was going to happen if they had recruited Peter. Remember, I said it will be hard for Peter to pivot. Like if Peter had gone so hard that week when they finally did get Dan out, and that's when he had assembled his whole little crew and he was the king of the crew and stuff. And I said, had Peter accepted, it would have been really, really hard for him to pivot. And it's almost like what I predicted would have happened had he had flipped, because Prosecco and him are not smart enough to play that shit off, and they would have been so obvious. And I honestly think it would have been a good decision for Phaedra, but it would have been a bad decision for him to accept it, because I don't think he would have known Phaedra kind of without looking obvious.
But that's why Phaedra kind of backed off of it and say, "Well, y'all let me know who you let me know who you want to be." Right. You notice Phaedra been kind of like playing in the background, like who you want. And she been letting them really pick who they want to kill, and she let Parvati really take the lead on who to be the who to pick to be
for the traitor.
The traitors.
Because all of it puts suspicion on Parvati, and it keeps suspicion on Phaedra. So she's definitely played at. I'm just here. Which is a good way to play it.
And if I was Parvati, by the second week, I would have caught on to that shit. And I would have been like, bitch, it's your week. No, you don't get this.
Like with Dan, when Dan was so adamant that he wanted to kill Bergie, and Phaedra tried to not Phaedra, Parakeet tried to tell her no, I think they're setting you up. And he was like, no, I need this. And Phaedra was like, go on then.
Both of them tried to tell him, and then they let him shoot himself in the foot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Really B had already talked about Dan was playing a horrible game. This ain't Big Brother. Dan played a horrible game. And this is not Big Brother. It did not work out in his favor.
Because he didn't.
Well, part of it is that he thinks he's the smartest person in the room.
And it's not.
And Phaedra actually, and I don't know if she did it on purpose or it just worked out that way for her, to be honest. And she'll never tell the truth, so it don't matter. But that very first week when it was just the two of them, and she let him make all the decisions, and he was like, yeah, I see that Phaedra is just going to let me do what I want to do, and she's just going to defer to me, and so that's going to be easy. I'm going to be able to run this game. And I was like, you don't know.
Little do you know, she is giving you enough rope for you to have yourself.
You don't know Phaedra like we know Phaedra. If you really think it's going to be easy, okay, boo, okay.
Now, if it had been Sheree, then yeah, maybe, because she ain't going to be the spring summer joggers. But that Phaedra got separate of her sleep.
For them to get out Phaedra, they just gonna have to vote for her. Like they gonna have to just say whatever they gonna say.
They're gonna have to stand 10 toes down and
now you talk about somebody sliding through the background, really not being noticed. Phaedra is really coasting in the background. She ain't saying too much. She ain't doing too much. She just going with the plan. Phaedra is really playing a good game. If you ask me, up to this point, not Phaedra, I'm sorry, Sheree. I didn't mean Phaedra. I meant Sheree. Sheree is really sliding in the background. Think about it. Sheree ain't making no waves. Sheree, I think like the first 2 weeks, I forgot she was even on this season.
But the producers clearly.
Because I'm thinking of Sheree like Kevin, like they're just there. They aren't doing anything.
And what is Kevin doing? Like, what is Kevin?
Absolutely nothing.
But Kevin at least speaks up on the round tables. Phaedra don't say nothing. Phaedra
don't say nothing unless somebody aim at her.
Not Phaedra.
She don't get into it, but she not.
They need somebody to aim at Sheree. So
I said Phaedra. I meant Sheree. Sheree ain't said nothing at the round table. No. All Sheree do is vote, and she'll tell you why she vote, and that's it.
And let's not remember the time she voted and said, "Well, I don't think this person is the traitor, but I mean, I voted for." Bitch, what?
Right. Because she was saying, well, everybody else voted for them, so I'm gonna vote for them.
Right. At least pretend like you believe that person. How you gonna sit here and say, I voted for you to be the traitor, but I know you're not the traitor? Girl, what?
I agree with Tracy in the chat. I feel that way about Sandra too.
Go with the crowd. Yeah, that's all that is. And that's all right. That's all right. Everybody can't be the leader. Everybody cannot be the leader.
Like they don't forgot Sheree is even on the show.
They forgot Sheree is a chief Indian.
Sheree forgot she was on the show.
She did.
My God.
She did.
She really did.
Depending on when they filmed it, she might have been calling Martell.
Oh.
And then there's that.
They want to know how we feel about Sandra, and I feel about Sandra the same way I feel about Kevin.
I never liked her.
Because I expected more out of Sandra from Survivor, and she's not giving anything.
She's not giving nowhere near what she gave her Survivor.
She's very much in a passive position as a faithful. If she was a traitor, she would be doing some diabolical shit.
But I think with Sandra too, Sandra is about that physical stuff. If you remember Sandra from Survivor, she was in that shit. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't. I mean, she played part of her game was mental, but most of her game to me for Sandra was not as mental. She wasn't like what's my guy who won the first season of Survivor? God, I can't think of that man. Whatever his name is. I can't think.
Richard. Yeah, Richard.
Remember, Richard wasn't physical at all. Richard is the orchestrator of alliances. We only know alliances because of Richard, which is the game. I ain't got the physicality of it all, but I can build some alliances, and I got enough people that like me, and they gonna not vote me off. And so, because I remember that season, Jervis was my favorite. You know, I wanted Jervis to win. Anyway, Sandra, she's not in her wheelhouse. This type of game is not in her wheelhouse to me.
This should be easier for Sandra because Sandra is not a physical player on Survivor. So this isn't a really physical game. So I would think this should be easier for Sandra, but she's not speaking.
I don't think she's gonna come out to play until like the very end when they get really down to the get down. I feel that's what because I feel like she's been taking notes this whole time. She keeping tabs. She taking.
But remember, she said something. What was that? Last week, a week before last, it was completely wrong, and everybody looked at her like after the vote. Everybody.
She was wrong about the traitor, but she wasn't wrong about the numbers and what was happening. She just had the traitor.
She had the traitor completely wrong.
All the rest of that, she was on point with.
So if it was me and I was a faithful, I would have looked at Sandra like, bitch, you just threw us the fuck off. You might be the goddamn traitor. If it was me.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, because when she was breaking down the numbers and the situation with Peter or whatever, the problem is I can't be mad at Peter for taking over because nobody really had, but he's playing so hard. It's hard for me to root for him because he's just overplaying.
And he didn't do that the first couple weeks. The first couple weeks of this show, I didn't even remember Peter even being on the show the first like 2 or 3 weeks. And now all of a sudden he's going real. Ever since that challenge where he figured out how those lights was moving and stuff. Remember that?
That wasn't him. That was Bergie.
That was Bergie?
That
was Bergie and not Peter. You're right. But I will say, since that point
on Dan to catch Dan when they had them shields, but after that plan on catching Dan up with them shields, Peter's plans have went womp womp. He had one good plan and that was it.
But he had one good plan, and because it worked out, everybody is now deferring to him. And like I said, like I'm gonna tell you what pissed me off, and I know I said this last week when they were in that room. And I don't know who came first. MJ came first, and they were like, "Can you give us a minute? Can you just give us a minute?" I was like, "How obvious are you being?"
Yeah, they were real obvious.
And I was like, and I just knew, like, that's when Sandra broke down the whole numbers thing or whatever. But I just knew that they were going to like create their own alliance, and I figured the two alliances would be going at it. But it seemed like that shit lasted 5 minutes.
But the other people in the other room weren't smart enough to say, "Oh, they over there definitely meeting. Let's meet on our end." And they weren't smart enough to do that. Nobody said
they were smart enough because MJ's stupid ass, instead of saying to the other people left, this dumbass said, "Oh, I should be over there in the room with them," and then she go tiptoe herself, and they was like, "No, baby, give us a minute. That means you're not in the club. That means you need to take your ass over there with the other forgetfuls and get y'all alliances together because clearly there's more of y'all than there is of them."
Because remember, she got mad.
And no matter what happens, y'all stay with that one person and then start to pick them off one by one. What they gonna do?
Remember, she got mad because they wouldn't let her in the room. When they voted out who they voted out, she was mad. Well, y'all ain't included. Remember, she got mad about that whole thing about not being included in who they voted out.
And to be honest with you, in hindsight, in hindsight, had that other alliance, the Sandra and them, had they been able to create an alliance and stick together, they would have been the safest ones in the house because they had both of the traitors in their fucking alliance.
Yep.
So had they been able to be smart enough to create that alliance, they, at least for right now, at least for about a week or two, they would have been, they'd have been the safest people in the house.
I would just like to point out the audacity of white men, because Dan thought he could try Phaedra and got read for filth and put out. And then Peter turned around and tried to do the exact
same thing. Peter turned around and then here come Pikachu's ass.
Yeah, Peter should have saw what happened the previous week and said, "Yeah, let me not come at her like that because this ain't the right angle."
Is the smarts in the room with us? Because it doesn't feel like it. Because did you not use your eyeballs to see what happened last week when your friend tried it? Why did you think that if that man tried it and it didn't work, you thought you was smarter than him?
Well, that's why they thought they had the numbers. That's why they were trying so hard to get the numbers, because I think that's what it was. They were absolutely trying to avoid what happened. And the funny thing was, at least the way they edited it, Phaedra did not have a heads up. Phaedra was just she started writing on the wall and was like, whoa, wait. Oh, that's what we doing? Got it. And what did I tell y'all last week? Not saying that y'all disagree with me, but for the people in the chat, what did I tell y'all last week? That whole little secret meeting, shit, was going to come back and bite them in the ass.
Yep.
It surely. Oh, let's get to the round table. So, at the
or
round
as I
table,
like to call it, Phaedra's court.
If you come for Phaedra, now if you don't say her name, Phaedra will let the round table rock.
But I feel like if you go come for Phaedra, you gotta come hard. They didn't come hard enough at Phaedra. They came real soft
because they thought they had convinced everybody.
They thought they
had the numbers.
But what,
they didn't
what
think they
get
had
me
to.
is that Kate be there to shoot down the bullshit. She
Baby,
said Burgerlicious was a problem. Listen, Kate,
and notice what Kate said. Kate even said she might be a traitor. I just don't like the way this shit went down. I was like, yes.
That's why I like Kate.
I like Kate, but John too, because I think that
because John, they knew John was on their side, and John was not.
John, you thinking something? What you thinking, John? And that should be a trigger to the traitors that John has to go. And John was like, I know what the plan is, but Poverty, you a traitor, you gotta go. I forget his good speech because he be laying them speeches out there.
Yeah, I like the way his wordplay is on point. His wordplay.
That's why, to me, I don't think Phaedra picked the right person. I'm with you, really. I don't think she picked the right person to be a traitor. But we'll get there. But at the round table, my whole biggest thing was y'all got to know and understand what this is. If you gonna come at Phaedra, you gotta come, and you can't let her get no words in. You can't miss. Don't let her get no words in. Every time, see, you should have got with your crew and said, listen, we coming at this whore today, and when we come at her, every time she try to get a word in, somebody jump the fuck in and come at her. Don't let her get nothing in, because once you start to let her talk, she's gonna talk her way out of the shit.
But what they don't understand is Black all by itself is excellent.
That's all you need.
That's what the problem is. And they working with their mediocrity up against that Black excellence, and it's gonna fail every single time.
But I'm gonna say this, and I know we don't like to talk about, well, it was edited this way or whatever. But I'm honest. I mean, because we know they're at that round table for a lot longer than what we see. I honestly think that she was able to pivot people when she talked about that secret meeting. Because did you see people's faces when she said, oh no,
when she talked about that secret meeting with Peter and Poverty? Yep.
Right. She said, y'all are working together because y'all tried to bring me in, and I said, oh no. And then you could literally
see people couldn't deny it.
You could literally see people thinking, like, you saw CT's face. CT went, And I honestly think that when she was able to pull that,
Phaedra anyway. So
he likes Phaedra too. But
I think that's what got John on her side too.
Yeah, and like you said, and they couldn't deny it. All they could do was try to explain it. Now, here's the crazy thing: Peter actually told his alliance what he was doing. So for his alliance, none of them should have questioned it, because Peter actually told his alliance, "Hey, y'all, I'm gonna go see if we can get Phaedra." And because remember, they were sure. They were pretty sure about Pastrami, but they weren't sure about Phaedra. And he was like, let me go see if I can talk to both of them. And Phaedra was like, the fuck? Hell no, I'm out of here.
She said, no, I will not be in collusion. I will not.
I will not be over here.
When she said, oh no, because you, Peter, and you, Pumpkin Eater, when y'all got me in that little armory room and tried to do the whoop-de-doo and the whoop-de-doo, I told y'all asses then that I wasn't down with them. No,
listen,
absolutely not.
I also think that Purple People Leader didn't do enough this week to help herself. She just kind of sat there at that round table and kind of let things happen, because I think she felt that she was good. And she didn't, when Phaedra pivoted and included her and Peter, she didn't do enough to help herself.
Because I think she thought that if Phaedra did defend herself, Phaedra would go for Peter. But when Phaedra came for her, I think she was kind of like, oh shit. Because I think she thought either way she was good because either it was going to be Phaedra or it was going to be Peter. She knew, I mean, she obviously knew she was on the chopping block, but I think she thought that Phaedra would go for Peter because they were both traitors and she would be protecting her. But I was like, no, man, why? Just like you thought she would light your torch. Why did you think she was going to protect you after you had just said her name? Like you literally said her name first.
And Phaedra had already gave her the warning shot when they met as traitors, when they with all three of them. Phaedra told her and Dan, y'all fucking around, I'm gonna get y'all ass. I'm not to be fucked with. She told them.
She said you ain't got but one time.
She said, don't nobody like you, Parvatish. That's what she said.
If I'm Pop Secret Popcorn, listen, if I am Pop Secret Popcorn, I say to myself, she gonna take me out the first chance she get. Nope. I don't trust her at all. So I would have, it's no way in my brain, if I'm thinking strategically, I would have ever trusted Phaedra to try to protect me. Because she had already told me.
And Dan don't know Phaedra, and that's their downfall. They think she's just a housewife over there shopping and doing whatever it is. They don't know Phaedra how we know Phaedra. And so she thinking, Poverty and Dan came in here thinking, we are the big people from these competition shows. We're the big dog. He could control Phaedra. And they met their match. They thought they were smarter than her, and they learned that they're not.
I agree. And then what happened is exactly what I was saying last week that I wanted to see happen. I was like, okay, if we get rid of the parachute, now what do we do with that? We're down to one traitor. And I was like, I want to see how this shakes it up. So, and I mean, it's what you said, Kiss My Cheeks, that they're going to force, they're going to force somebody, which is what they had to do. I mean, they didn't have any choice.
They couldn't just have one traitor.
But how do we feel about her choosing Kate?
That wasn't a good choice to me.
Wait, who did she choose? Because it cut off on me, the episode.
She chose Kate.
I would have chosen either Kate or John. One of the two.
I would have chose John. I would have chose John.
As a wild card, I might have chose CT.
I would have chose CT.
Well, I got a real strategic vote. You know what I would have did?
Trishelle.
Nope.
I never.
I would have chose Peter again.
Got a book on you.
I would have chose Peter again.
And make him
Why? Why? Because it's a whole lot of people got their eyes on Peter, and he don't have a choice now. You got to be a traitor now.
Traitor or die.
Or die.
Traitor
so
or die.
I would have chose Peter again.
You know what? That's actually a good decision. That's a good
because
choice.
For Phaedra, that is safe. You already put his name out there in the atmosphere. Listen, people already and then don't trust Peter him.
Try a white man again and try to throw Phaedra under the bus, and boom, got him.
And boom, right. I would have chosen Peter again.
At the round table, and Kate is his ass up.
Kate is too easy. I think she was looking for somebody who people would suspect to be a new traitor, and because Kate came in late, they would suspect her. But that's too easy. I think she should have chose Peter.
That's actually a good one.
I would have probably chose Peter again and forced him. Oh, you don't want to be a traitor? Well, die.
Go home. Get your bags.
I'm actually with you on that one. I'm actually with you.
That would have been so good. Do you think
that would have been good
to be a traitor?
He doesn't want to go home. He would have said yes that time.
Yeah, he would. It's no way he would have said
no. I think the arrogance of him, he would have tried to get to that next round table and try and because he mad he a traitor, try and throw Phaedra under the bus again.
But Phaedra already showed people Peter is not to be trusted.
Right.
She already got his name in the atmosphere.
Because they already thinking what's going on between your Poverty. Are y'all both? Did he really accept the letter the last time? Why are you working with?
Because I would have introduced. They was in there for a whole long time after I left. I don't know what happened after I left. So listen, play right on up to it. That's who I would have chose.
Because
that would have been so good. That would have been
that's actually a good decision. That is actually a good
They're going to start calling it Phaedra's round table.
Phaedra's table, yes. Because I think with Kate, I don't know if Kate can switch it up. Like,
I don't think Kate needs to switch it up.
I didn't like how Kate played last season.
Like she's been acting that she don't care. She don't really want to be doing none of this.
Mm-hmm.
She just here for the shits and giggles.
I didn't like how she played last season. So
they could have swore up and down she was a traitor last
I still don't like her entrance outfit from this season. So
yeah, I liked it.
I didn't. Them two different color brown leathers.
Yeah, it wasn't cute. That leather was not hitting. That leather wasn't hitting no nothing.
I do agree.
So, what are our predictions? So they asked me what our predictions are for next week.
The what?
What are our predictions for next week?
Well, I said Trisha. At least
do they get to murder somebody?
I don't know. They should.
They didn't murder anybody this week because I don't see Kate not accepting it.
I think Alan is going to let them know that a new traitor had been recruited to set up the paranoia.
And I think everybody's going to think it's Peter
or John.
Yeah, that's why I say, John, you should have stayed in the background again. And John, you were a little too vocal for him. I love him, but in this game, I think he was a little too vocal this week. So him and Peter, to me, if I'm like somebody watching, if I'm in the game, him and Peter are my next.
John gives very much.
It's three: Trishelle, John, and Peter.
And carry a big. John gives you very walk softly, carry a big stick because I feel like. He been treading real light this, but if you come at him with some foolishness, he's gonna meet you where you at with the shenanigans.
What do you think? What do you guys think happens to Trishelle? Because if they don't kill somebody, what happens with Trishelle's shield?
What? Oh, she did.
Doesn't it expire for the next, and then they offer a new one in the new challenge?
Yeah, the new challenge. Like if nobody gets murdered, it doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm just asking.
She did get the shield,
Because I
wonder if when they bring this new traitor on, if they're going to immediately say, "Yeah, you need to kill somebody."
That's what I'm saying.
They could very well.
They could very well say, "Okay, now that you accept being a traitor,
you got to kill somebody.
You immediately got to kill somebody."
Yeah. I would love. Listen.
Who do you think they can kill since Trishelle has the shield? Who do you think would be a good kill? Should they leave Peter there?
I would get rid of Peter.
Peter got to go. Peter got to go.
If it's not Trishelle, if they can't get Trishelle, they should get Peter, and then Trishelle.
But they don't know that they can't get.
What
Trishelle.
about John? Why?
Because remember, Trishelle never said who has this. They don't know who has the shield.
They don't know who has the shield.
Ooh, if they go with Trishelle, they're gonna be in trouble.
Sheree or MJ.
I could see Phaedra going for Trishelle because Trishelle was very vocal about her this week.
Child, with that notebook was full of nothing.
Child, that damn come on. I have notes full of it. I have notes. You want to know my notes? Yes, ma'am. We want to know your notes.
Everybody likes you.
All she said was, "You look suspicious at breakfast. You're never nervous." That you had a whole notebook to say that.
But to me, if I'm at the table, that makes it. She made a good point to me. I ain't mad at Trishelle. Trishelle made good points.
Because
that's a valid point.
Dan tried to do the same thing. Talk about her reactions at breakfast. Girl,
but Trishelle actually did make, because remember, Trishelle's been saying this for weeks. It's just that nobody's
nobody's paying attention to her.
Yeah, we just don't like Trishelle.
We don't like her. But she's been making some good points.
Ma'am, take you and your crow's feet and go home. Thank you.
And them damn
ugly ass
gloves. Take them damn gloves. Bye.
Listen, I love how y'all always pay attention to the fashions, and I never pay attention to none of the fashions.
I wouldn't have paid attention to it if she didn't get Peppermint kicked off for that said reason.
Exactly. We still a pox on her house until we get justice for Peppermint.
Oh man.
Nothing good is gonna come to you.
Say it again. Until you listen.
You know what? Miss True Kelly, absolutely. Trishelle was the one that said Dan threw them a traitor. And I mean, she had good points, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
Trishelle had good points. When
but
Trishelle talked, I said, girl, you better go ahead.
We just don't like you, so whatever you say is garbage. Go sit down.
Yeah, Trishelle was on it this week. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Don't throw away your Notebook Trishelle been on it. I can't stand her, but she been right.
It could be. I really want them to have more than just a piece of paper saying you've been murdered. I really want them to do like Dracula, where the person is walking through a hallway and then suddenly somebody come up with a knife and be like, and then next thing you know, they lay down on the floor. Like I wanted to like somebody hit the back of the head with a baseball bat or something, because I would love to see that happen to Trishelle. Like she just walking down the hallway and somebody come out, jump out, bow, hit it in the back of the head for fake, not for real. Y'all know, just fake.
You know what? My thoughts for next week is Trishelle.
I want to see her physically get hit in the back of the head with a baseball.
I think it's gonna be Trishelle or
like that
Peter
in the
next
hallway.
week. They're gonna nominate Trishelle or Peter next week. But one of the people who's been sliding under the radar but been real vocal, and I think they need to be scared too. John needs to be scared, but that goddamn Kevin needs to be scared too, because Kevin be offering up opinions all the time and been wrong every time, and you just throw any name out there.
First of all,
he loud and wrong.
Kevin is loud and wrong, but he had my heart that one time at the round table where he turned to MJ. He was like, "I'm going to vote for you because I don't like you. I'm sick of you, and you get on my nerves." I said, "Oh."
I thought he said that to Tamara.
He said it to Tamara and MJ. He said to MJ, he said, "You get on my nerves." He's like, "You're on my nerves, daughter. On it." That last one I got over there, you're on it. Okay, I don't like you. I'm voting for you. I said, "Oh."
Leave Kevin to the end, because you could get away with tossing them sandbags with Kevin.
First of all, Kevin is used to being a hanger-on in real life.
Yeah.
So that's why he's so
he is. Listen, I thought Kevin would try to play the game where he would be quiet. Nuh-uh. Kevin be out here throwing anything out there. All right, I think it's
just like happy-go-lucky. He got nothing to lose. Just like in real life, he ain't got nothing to lose. He's hanging out with the rich folks.
He's just so dumb. He's so dumb.
That's it.
Somebody said Janelle admitted that Dan, Parvati, and Trishelle were in an alliance to protect each other. I don't see that being true.
I don't remember that. Were they? They might have been. I just don't remember.
Well, I mean,
it ain't helped them because they all gone. So there's that.
But I was going to say, I mean, the thing
Parvati, Dan, and Dan is go, and Janelle, all of them go.
But a lot of times they do that. But they do the same thing on the challenge. They go on the show making alliances before they get on the show. But once they get on the show and shit, real stuff starts happening, it's hard to keep those alliances. So they may have had a conversation and they may have done all of that. But once you get there, let's be clear. Janelle is bitter. She overplayed her hand and she's fucking bitter. So
Janelle, go sit down somewhere and retire.
Because it's Janelle's fault that she's gone. All you had to say was one name. You did not have to throw. You did not have to throw CT, and maybe that's why she threw. So that's even more of a reason. Why would you throw CT's name out? Like if you were suspected that
bitter because she didn't get her back blown out. That's why she threw CT's.
If you suspected that Dan, Trishelle, and the Parakeet were in an alliance together, why would you even throw CT's fucking name out?
Because she was mad that she didn't get her back blown out. She's still off the show trying to get her back blown out by CT. She wants when CT gets off the show she wants to be over there face planting somebody's headboard. She wants to face plant somebody's headboard.
Janelle, I thought Janelle was married.
Don't listen to El Teddy. He think everybody want to have sex. Janelle is married. She is not thinking about having sex with none of these people.
Mm-hmm.
El Teddy is a whore, and he thinks that everybody is like him.
Hormones are hormones, which makes everybody a whore.
It does not.
Everybody has hormones, and so everybody can be a whore. Because hormone is the first syllable of whore. I mean, whore is the first syllable of hormone. Excuse me.
But it's with a W.
It's still the first syllable. Whore.
Oh God. Anyway.
Whore.
You see what I'm working? Do you see what I'm talking about here?
Whore.
All right, I think we're done here.
That's the episode. We're getting ready to go down a whole nother lane. So we'll be back. I think we pushed this back a day because I went to go see the Bob Marley movie last night.
I'm going to go see it tomorrow. Don't tell me nothing.
I'll give me the Cliff Notes because I'm not going to see it. I still haven't seen The Color Purple. So
You could watch The Color Purple now, I think, on Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for it. Is it free?
Oh no, you gotta have Amazon Prime.
I have Amazon Prime.
Whatever you can see it then. Whatever this show is called. What's the name of the app? Prime.
Is it free or do you have to rent it?
Oh, I'm lying. I don't know. Because I saw it at the movies. I probably should have waited, but I just know it's streaming. But with that being said,
let me go to my Amazon Prime Video. No problem. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
So beautiful.
Well, I will wrap it up.
Wait, I hear a man.
I know, right?
We know when we hear men now, you know. Hey, I hear a man.
Well, we will be back. Same show, but maybe a different time. It might be back to Friday next week. We'll see. But either way, we will let you know. Thank you for talking traders with us. We will see you later. El Teddy, come back anytime.
Oh, don't tell him that. Look. You see that grin? You see that grin?
We can have our drinks on camera together. But let me get off of here and enjoy the rest
night.
of
I'm about to say, let me get off of here. I've been live.
It's on HBO Max, which I have for free. So I can watch it for free.
Check it out. I'm about to get into Love is Blind. Because I think me and Abby are doing Love is Blind tomorrow.
Are we? How many episodes I need to watch? Because I got halfway through the first one and they gave me a headache and I stopped. So
okay, wait, I'm not. It ain't even tomorrow. It's Monday because we off work on Monday. We're gonna do it Monday.
Who off work? I don't have a holiday, but that's fine. We can do it whatever.
I'm off work Monday. Yeah, Monday is the day
off.
off.
You off work.
Monday's not a holiday for me.
Oh, well, either way, we're gonna do it Monday because I'm gonna need 2 days to watch the first 6 episodes.
Okay, so
I watched the first episode and checked out.
I'll finish watching it
on the first one, so I got a lot of watching to do.
I watched the first episode of Bad and Bougie. I don't know if I can stomach these ladies.
I ain't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it either, and I'm not really.
Tamika is driving me crazy, and the other chick is too.
All right. Well, if all hearts and minds are clear, thank you so much for watching us. We'll see y'all next week. Same time.
Later. Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.